are you recording there? Facebook Live.
Video, audio. No Facebook Live
Did you
yet.
touch your...
No, I did not touch mine. No, I did not.
Did you start your phones? There's like one,
Yes,
two...
yes. This is me.
Oh, that's that?
Yes.
Oh, look at you being all fancy. Last week you couldn't turn the button on.
Whoa. No. Whoa. See, I'm there, and you're
I can't
there.
see nothing.
That's you.
I'm just going.
imagine. Just imagine.
Okay.
So welcome everybody out there to Divorce Devil episode 043. Divorce Devil is a podcast for those thinking about divorce, going through a divorce, or actually already have been through a divorce, which is us. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So let me put our names on here. Wow. David and Rachel. Rachel and David. Wow. Look at that. Wow. Look at that.
Wait,
and then,
I don't like
and
the
then
side
fade.
angle. I was like,
Seriously?
hi.
So our topic today is when you were in the storm of your divorce and the thick of it, what were your go-to things to help you get through it? I mean, like right in the crux of it.
Okay, I'm going to start from the beginning because right when it was all happening, I left my house. So family's still there. I left, moved into best friend's
basement.
Parents' basement. Beautiful, you know. It wasn't like you're down in the basement playing video games, folks. I mean, because I can't believe that. Anyway, but I literally was alone.
Hey, this is our first YouTube video, man. I'm like, yeah, peace.
Are you really
Peace.
throwing up peace signs? Oh gosh!
West
All right,
side.
where's the squirrel?
West side. Here, you might need it.
I might need this for you for once. What? Okay, it's a highlighter, folks. We're trying to reel us
And
back
everything
into.
is pressed. You see, we're recording there, recording here, so it's a done deal. Let's get it.
Okay.
Okay, you moved to the basement.
All right.
and
So
you played
what
video
was I
games,
saying?
And you played video games.
I did not play video games.
Okay, you did not
It's
play
not
video
like going
games.
into the basement and living in your parents' house and playing video games. This was a beautiful basement, but I was alone. I didn't have my family. They all were at the house still. I moved out because I was done. And so when I didn't have my son, because we have from the beginning literally started 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever worked, because my ex traveled a lot with construction.
So it worked out.
And I was a school nurse at my son's school. So I had him during the day most of the time. And then, you know, at night we would split it. I was alone and I did not realize I did not know how to be alone because my oldest is 24 and my youngest is 10.
So how did you be alone?
A lot of crying, a lot of I need to shed the tears of all the things that won't happen, all the things that I expected. Folks, this is not going to go well.
This is going to go great.
If Snapchat was released last week,
Oh,
he
man.
just
I'd
found
be
it.
all over. It's like, boomer.
He's literally doing all these peace signs and stuff. Okay, this is serious stuff. Remember last week? You're like, you're in the middle of it.
I know.
Okay. I am the squirrel here. You
Obviously.
can't distract me
I
because then where will we go from here?
No place but up.
It's going to be like a live podcast from downtown Springs. Hey, how do you feel about divorce?
I'm not divorced. I've been married for 30 years.
Well, you should
Get outta
be, so
here.
we have content.
Back to the basement.
Okay. Oh, Batman. Okay. So, yeah, I literally had to learn to be alone. And I don't know what that meant. A lot of times me being alone was being in my thoughts, which is very toxic. Mm-hmm. Like I said before, I stopped eating. I stopped living because I couldn't deal with the not living with my family, even though it wasn't healthy. So I had to learn, do I go to the restaurant by myself and be that awkward person sitting by myself and going, nobody else is coming because I'm by myself? But each time I did that, it got better. And then I would just walk in and be like, yep, table for one. And I'm going to have whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to worry about how much I'm going to eat or how much I'm going to do that because I wasn't eating.
Or if you ate garlic.
I mean, I probably wasn't going to the Italian restaurant going, hey, I'll just take the whole jar of garlic, please, because I wasn't allowed to have that. But yeah, I had to learn to be comfortable in my own skin alone. And I've been a mom forever, it feels like. But there was a person before my marriage, and there was a person before my children. So I had to basically go back to my 19-year-old self. What direction would I have changed? Like one of my favorite Broadway shows is called What If? And it's literally talks about...
Oh, we got a costume change. Hold on.
Oh, gosh.
All right, here we go.
What are we doing? Okay, Clark Kent. Superheroes don't all wear capes.
All right.
Oh, my God.
We're keeping this light, baby. We're keeping this light. Oh, it's so cold.
His eyeglasses are cold, and he's having now he has a headache.
Oh, damn.
What is happening here? Stop looking at yourself on YouTube.
I'm going to get a little hat next time.
You're going to get
Robin Hood.
those photo booth pictures. You get like a little hat,
Oh, I got some of that stuff next time. Oh, man. Sweet. Little glasses with the little... Anyway, back to in the basement.
I'm not sure we're going to get... This might be a 2-hour podcast.
We are going to get through it. I won't change anymore. I promise.
Here's what's great about that, though. Being able to laugh again.
Oh, yeah.
And actually a genuine laugh. Like, that right there was wholehearted. I'm like, dude, like, this guy next to me literally just had a costume change and his whole demeanor changed. Like, don't jump out the window. You are not Superman.
I am freaking smart.
Oh, God. Please help us. Where was I?
So you were learning how to be alone.
Yeah.
With yourself.
Yeah.
And to laugh at yourself and not take yourself seriously.
Well, and too, like, I think part of that, like, going out, like, so I'm used to live up near Castle Rock, and so downtown is, like, happening. But if you don't know what happening is...
Castle Rock or here?
Castle Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, downtown Springs is a little young for me.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I don't know.
That's because you're almost a boomer.
No, but, like, when I was dating, downtown Springs was pretty cool, but then I was like, okay, what's happening here? Like, oh, wow, I'm old. That's great. Awesome. Yay, me. But I think, oh gosh, here we go again. Definitely stepping out of the comfort zone. Cause you see me, I'm pretty comfortable in speaking to people and talking about it, very outgoing. But in my divorce, I had to be like, hey, am I too much? Do I give off too much of a vibe? Am I all like, squirrel?
Because you question yourself.
And I know that for a fact. I totally changed. I just spit all over you. You're welcome.
No, too far. Too far. I have glasses on, so it's okay.
Splash guard. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
It's hot in here. Got my glasses
if you start stripping people, I will let you know, and I will charge.
Yep. Clark Kent, baby. Lois. We're Lois.
Okay. Oh, God. We're having entirely too much fun. But yeah, so I think you really have to step in your comfort, out of your comfort, feel like who are you?
It's almost like you have to figure out who you are.
I was
because you're not that person
19-year-old
anymore.
Rachel going, hey, if I didn't have this, what would I want to do? Like, I went bowling and golfing and all these things, and I'm like, yeah, they're fun to do because my family wants to do them, but did I actually like them by myself?
But you did stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, and a lot of it was, I had a couple of friends who were going through the same thing, or marital stuff, and the misery loves company. But I also found out, like, outside of misery can be happiness if you're willing to put in that, hey, like, I can't play the victim if I'm not gonna make myself better. And then when
you the victim for so long.
Yeah, and then when you find out you're not all the problem. Like I said, I used to cause a fight just to get a reaction to see if I was worthy enough of having a fight. And I hate fighting. So my take on that was I was just, if I piss you off enough, you're going to leave me. Well, he wasn't leaving, so I left. Mm-hmm. So
do you think if you wouldn't have left, you'd still be in it? I would. I would.
You would just be miserable.
If my ex didn't pull the trigger, I'd still be there because
really?
I was devoted, even though I wasn't happy. I was devoted.
Yeah, because I think too with our generations, we were definitely, you don't get divorced. You do everything. You're supposed to try everything, blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to attempt therapy. You're supposed to make it work. You're supposed to, hide it. You're supposed to do it for the kids, which all
Never,
are
ever
actually
stayed
very
for the kids.
toxic because my parents' generation, my dad was married 4 times, but each time he was married, it was because he cheated on my mom because he wasn't happy. He didn't find his happy in each of the women, and he would just meld into what their issue was and then blame them.
It was a temporary happiness.
Yeah. So, and again, he's got children from it, and great. He's passed away, and I see my parents' relationship did not prepare me for a healthy relationship where it was like one person always needed the attention, and then when that person gave the attention, everything else was neglected, where I was always, I need to give everybody attention at all times. Well, what happens? I get neglected, and then I changed who I was. I in my marriage was happy, as in I showed the world what happy's supposed to look like, but deep down inside, I lost me, which that I was a shell. I could have a great time. I'm outgoing. When my friends are around, it's like, life of the party. But I also need time to regenerate and recharge. And like when I went through the divorce, I was all, okay, so now what really makes you happy? Do you need your friends to make you happy? Do you need this to make you happy? I learned that I need me to be happy in order to make someone else happy. And if I'm not having a good day, then I can change the mood of something. So like I tell my kids, like, you're having a bad day. That's on you. That's a you problem, not a me problem. But when your mood affects me, now that I'm in it, we're going to have fisticuffs. Like something's going to happen.
Now, what happened when, let's say, when you were around your girlfriends who were going through divorce or going through marital problems? Was it like a bitch fest, a sisterhood, a bitch fest? Or?
Well, no, see, because like my ex is a nice guy.
But it wasn't for you.
He's just not my nice guy. And so we had, like, my entire marriage in New Jersey we lived in the town that he grew up in. So all of our friends, maybe a handful that I decided that I liked better than his friends who's married this one. And now I had to be friends with that wife because he went to school with the husband or knows everybody knew each other. And a lot of them were like, a lot of our friends were family, first cousins, second cousins, that we just hung out because now it's a more family, So,
so what did the other girls go through?
I think they went through, one of my girlfriends, she's pretty much still going through divorce like 3-4 years later. And it's just a terrible thing. The husband had a mistress. She confronted the husband about the mistress. And then he changed the locks. The girl was driving her car, locked her out, like wearing her clothes, and basically booted her out of the door. She was homeless basically because she confronted the husband about his mistress.
And she's still not divorced.
Well, it was forever with custody, saying she wasn't fit, and then they were like, the girlfriend, the mistress and the husband had like restraining orders to each other. Then it was literally like true crimes without a murder. Like she would tell me some things, and I'm like, wait, what? You can't see your kids? Why? Because he decided to call. At one point, I guess judges were actually kicking him out of court, saying you are ridiculous. Like this is done. And now she's good. She's got a house. She's bought her own house. She's done all this stuff, and of course she's got 3 kids and very affluent family. It literally was similar but different. And when I was married, I lived in a very, nice community, and most people had their status or whatever. Where I came in, I'm like, okay, so I'm from Jersey and this is what I can afford, and I live here and I just so happen to be here, and it's a great community, blah, blah, blah. Tiny school, which we came from, a small school. It was everything that worked out for us. And a lot of the things I saw were, ego. A lot of the people that are getting divorced were because of ego. And mine was more, I just can't be unhappy anymore, where, I want the Lamborghini. I want the this. I just want to be happy. I want to be okay in my skin. And I had the trips. I had the house. I had all that. That did not make me happy. I'm simple. You want to go on vacation? I'm going on vacation. And when I'm on vacation, I'm going to have a great time. But I also, like to be home. I like to just take weekend trips.
A bit of both.
Yeah. So a couple of my friends that were getting divorced, we were very similar. Like when we would go out, we would not talk kids. We would not talk anything unless it was like the day of a court thing. Like, how did you do? Are you okay? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, turn it off. Now we're going to have dinner. We're going to talk about what we want to do.
Time.
And one of my friends who I didn't know was that great of a friend, when we were going through it, I really connected with her in a different, like we would text each other. I'm like, hey, I'm feeling this. Have you felt that? Blah, blah, blah. Almost like a podcast, but with girlfriends. And, some people are like, oh, she's pretentious. She's this. I'm like, no, she is actually a human who just has always had to put on a show. And now she doesn't know how to turn that off, because if she doesn't, then what's her importance? And I feel like her and I together, we figured it out. I mean, she's definitely more of a glamour girl, and I'm more of a like girl next door kind of thing. But I feel like, she's still living in the Castle Rock area and doing the whole, single, I'm never getting married kind of thing. Because her divorce has been forever, where mine was, a year and a half kind of thing. And she has learned to put the kids, the kids need to be first, but she needs to be first so that she can take care of her kids, because they've been through so much stuff. And whereas it's very amicable, other than like, you spent all my money, so like, now what do? I got $27 in the bank, and now all my money is my money.
So let's talk about when you guys, when the girls got together.
Well, it's your turn.
And you
so
guys
what did you do right when you got...
No, I was having fun with you.
No. So your wife decided to leave.
I'm sorry, what?
Your ex-wife, sorry.
Yes.
The ex-wife decided to leave. And like, so what was your first step? Like, what? Because I feel like I talk all about the
I laid down in the closet and I cried for days.
Yeah.
Cried for days. Get that crying out, and then it's like, okay, let's go. Yeah. So, because she pulled the trigger twice. So when she pulled it the second time, I was already ready, been through everything. The second time,
watched all that fear. You watched all that.
So I was writing some memoirs last night, and I was remembering the time when she told me the second time. She goes, "Hey, I want a divorce again." I was like, "Okay."
No,
you're just stoic. Okay. Yeah. And at that moment, that love for her was gone.
Yeah,
was gone.
Well, because she put you through it the first time, and
twice.
And then you kind of heal, and then you get back in it.
So the first time,
toxic stuff.
The first time when I was going through it, I felt less than a man. Huge.
Did you feel huge. Because you're way older than us.
Yeah. Boomer. I felt like a failure. I got punked basically, and it was almost like my man card was gone. But the second time she pulled it, I was like, hey, let's do this. Whatever it costs me, an arm, 2 legs, and a testicle, you can have it. You can have it. Hitler, baby. Hitler.
Do you think, from the male perspective, generational, I said, I talked about this today at work, that generationally, if you don't get married, don't have kids, and you're 60 years old and you're a woman, you're called an old maid, right? Mm-hmm. Male, your failed marriage, she don't love you no more. Do you feel like there's a stigma put on that? Because I felt when I went through divorce, oh, you don't get divorced. That was my parents speaking, but my dad was married 4 times. So like, there's so many mixed signals, especially from our generation. Mom stayed home and cooked and cleaned and took care of the kids, and dad worked. Well, now you got two moms, a mom and a dad. You got 2 dads. You got all these different things that come into play today. Do you still think that there's that stigma in divorce, especially because there's such a big rate for divorce?
I think from the standpoint of you and me, where both our parents are divorced, I think we wanted to try harder and not let it happen.
Yeah.
And then what happened, I think it was worse.
Yeah, unrealistic.
Yeah. It was worse. It's like, hey, this is the second time. I am a second generation divorce person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was it. That was the biggest stigma, more so than not getting divorced.
I definitely think a couple times when I was going through it, well, if I just get back in it, it'll be better. It has to be better because he now knows. I thought that
the first time, not the second time. Oh my God. I was like, oh.
I think because when you pull the divorce card, if you tell them I want a divorce and they work on it, do you feel like you should work on it because I told him what I wanted. It changed. Do you think Do you think it was smart for you to get back in it, or do you think like because of that stigma you stayed in it, or you went back to it?
I think kids played a big part the first time.
Yeah.
And I actually really wanted to make it work. Mm-hmm. And then after putting all that work in for a year and have her pull that trigger again, I was like, man, you got to be freaking kidding me.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I know there was a couple times, like, sit in my basement.
I said, maybe I should go back. Maybe.
Yeah. And you're like, it would just be easier to not have to pull back the layers or rip off the Band-Aid.
But look at it now. You're so happier.
Yeah. I mean.
So anybody out there in that position right now, where you think about going back and going to it, sometimes yes, but most of the time no. Well,
and I think too, when you're dealing with your shit, this is my big thing. When you're dealing with your shit, because we all have shit, and
I don't have shit.
Okay, squirrel. All right, Clark Kent.
Yeah, Clark.
Kryptonite. You got some kind of kryptonite. But
that's even better. Kryptonite.
Yeah, I have definitely seen that you feel like it's better because now the kids got their mom and dad back together. You're going to have that life, that white picket fence, blah, 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 blah. But until you've both worked on each other outside of that marriage, whether you get back together or not, you don't really see what's happening because you're raising kids, trying to do careers. You're like, whether you move, whether you stay, there's so much that goes into a marriage that people don't talk about, especially we did not talk about before will you marry me? It was, now they say you got to talk about religion, family, holidays, politics,
everything.
Yeah. And, a lot of people don't do that. And especially I can remember sitting in this room by myself, like, ice cream, sweatpants, Netflix, going, if I just go back, I can do it. I'm so strong. I can be in an unhappy, unhealthy, relationship so my kids aren't sad.
But you took that strength.
Yeah.
And you moved on with your life. But
there was a point when I was crying and doing that. I go, this is what will be happening to me on the inside if I go back.
If you go back.
And it took a while because, there was times where, let's just try to go to an event. Like we love concerts. My little guy loves like old rock. We went to like a Killer Queen concert at like Red Rocks. We were separated. Knew we weren't together, but went to this event for my son and we had a great time. But I literally had shut off all that emotion towards him. Like I was like checking out other guys because I'm like, I'm not with him, but it looked like a happy family on the outside. It wasn't. It was us playing a part so he would have a good time because we had already gotten the tickets like, a couple months, like 6 months before because you got to buy tickets forever. And so it was one of those like, yeah, I now know that waiting it out and doing exactly what I did was what I needed.
Yep.
Because I had a great time with my son. He just happened to be there.
Just think about all the people that go back and they continue to be unhappy.
Well, and you also talk about, too, like men and women in abusive relationship, whether verbal or physical, all this other stuff, they go back because it's easier to go back because you think they're going to change because you're willing to forgive them.
Well, that, too. And I think another big part is people don't want to change lifestyles.
No.
You get divorced, man, your life.
Especially as a woman and you change your name, like my bank card, my social security card, my license, all this shit. I should just be able to say, yep, I am this name now. What the hell? Social security, don't get me started. Like, really, it's,
Well, my ex changed her name back and I really didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you keep your name? Do women keep their name because their kid has the same?
Some women have kept their name because it was easier.
Yeah.
And every incident where the women kept their name, the ex-husband was pissed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think mine cares. I don't think he cares. Yeah. But my nursing license, my driver's license, my passport, all this stuff that was in my old name have expired or haven't, and then COVID hit, so like everything's closed. You can't change it. And I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna.
But it makes it easier too when your kids are in school. The same last name.
Yeah, I still go by my married name just because again it's easier. But getting back to like some of the things that I started doing right after my divorce.
What about partying and alcohol?
Yeah. I did a lot of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, I did way too much of that.
I didn't drink a drop the 18 months of my divorce until it was over.
Really?
And I got trashed and had to leave my car at Old Chicago one night.
That's rough, Clark. That's rough.
Clark Kent kryptonite.
No, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the Clark I'm talking about. Lampoons.
18 months I didn't drink.
Really?
Yep.
So
And then
no,
drank it.
I definitely had gone out a lot. I made a lot of friends with a lot of people who own bars. Because we had talked about too on mansplaining with code words for girls and drinking and dates and all this other stuff. But I was definitely, anytime I didn't have my son, I was out with girlfriends, and we were responsible too. I need a ride home tonight because I'm drinking, because I don't know how else I feel right now, because I can't cry anymore.
So how soon did you date? I dated
Pretty quickly.
during the process.
Yeah.
And I met some crazy women, and those crazy women helped me get through it.
Yeah.
No, crazy,
Here's
crazy
the thing.
women.
I dated, but I don't think they were dates, if that makes sense. I met a lot of people that when we talked, they were nice. We would go out and meet, but it wasn't like a date. It was
I dated.
It was like a let's have dinner. You're a stranger. I'm a stranger.
It was rope and cowboy.
No, really.
Oh, yeah.
No, there was especially with apps and how do you date nowadays, and do you go to the bar, and what do you know? Do I really want to meet?
Totally organic, man. I got lucky.
Yeah.
Organic. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, because you were dating your patients.
Hey.
Until your
Easy
till your lady said,
Hey.
"Nah, enough of that. We're losing patience."
Don't make me.
Oh, he took his glasses off. Watch it. I ain't scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, a lot of people, when they found out I was separated, single, whatever, DM'd me or messaged me, and a lot of them were my ex's friends.
Question: who got the friends? I got most of my friends. Most of our friends.
Well, the friends back home, I kept my bestie because she's seen him in action and knows the family and lives in town. But a lot of them, he went back and told them shit that didn't happen and fabricated a lot of things that he was guilty about and didn't know how to handle. And like I had gone home recently, and a couple people were like, "Oh, I see you're in town." Like they would message me and stuff. They're like, even though you cheated, I'm like, even though I wouldn't.
Say what?
Even though okay, yeah, I dated when we were separated and not living in the house. So if that's what you consider cheating, then I cheated.
Dang.
But
Dang.
yeah, so a lot of people who are grew up with him were like, "Hey, you're in town. You like
Cheaters in town.
let's talk." Yeah, and so I texted my ex. I was like, "What the fuck did you say to people?" Because whatever you said, you either made I actually said, "You know what? You don't need to make it right." But I have no reason to go back there. Nothing there matters to me. But at some point, if you don't feel, that's definitely it. I definitely felt like I always felt like an outsider there because basically the town was all related, some degree of his family and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? You don't have to make it right because someday they will know because your bullshit is being seen.
Yeah. I've heard some crazy stuff, and I just
I'm just like,
let it
whatever
go.
you needed to say to make yourself feel better and me look like that, that's on you. And I'm the mother of your children. And my dad is buried
That doesn't
there.
mean that much to me anymore.
Yeah.
It meant a lot more to me when they were little,
Yeah.
but now it doesn't mean that much to me
I mean,
anymore.
but you weren't married to me. I'm pretty fucking awesome. Just saying. Like, I'm going to put it out there. I'm pretty laid back and chill. And I literally was put into a family from
Lance
hell.
is a lucky guy. Oh my gosh, that guy.
He knows.
I want to meet him one day and say, dude, you're a lucky guy.
I think he's scared to come on
And
here.
then give him like Clark Kent.
Hey, babe, I found out our costumes. I'll be Lois Lane, you be Clark Kent. And can you just wear the glasses?
Yeah, that's it.
Just the glasses, babe. All right, we definitely have to put like a little censor thing because
There's a camera right there.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. So,
Oh my god,
censor.
that is great.
I forgot we were on camera.
Eggplant.
I literally made the motion of
Of an
oh
eggplant.
shit. I'm sorry. Zucchini season.
Gourd.
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 Oh God, what was I saying? Okay, I'm getting a little sweaty.
Talking about friends back home.
Yeah, so like, I was immersed in that for 20 some years until we moved here, and a lot of the people that we know have cut me out. Because it's his family mostly. There's one friend, she just has not talked to me since he changed his status. And I was like, oh, you're going to change your status? I'll change my status. Asshole gone. So she hasn't talked to me. She won't return my text. Her husband has texted me happy birthday, happy Mother's Day. Because like there was a group of 6 of us that were like really great friends. And so 2 of the couples he went to high school with and knows the wives, and then one couple was my friend, and we introduced the husband, and like the husband met our husbands, and we called ourselves the 6-pack and whatever.
Sometimes you lose friends,
and then
just collateral damage.
Well, and it's crazy because the husband of my friend and her husband are now divorced. One of those people, one of the couples that we were really good friends with, and I talked to both of them. But the husband has been more supportive because he's now in another relationship. He's my age.
Thank you.
And he just had a baby with his new fiance, and he's super happy. And, he's a different happy too. And I was like, isn't it great to feel happy? Even though like we had a great time together. Mm-hmm. Like we vacationed together. Like they were our people. And one of the couples probably should be divorced, and the other one were high school sweethearts, and they will be together until the day they die. Like that's just them. The one who were high school sweethearts, the wife won't talk to me because she doesn't believe in divorce. But yet, if she knew like half the shit, like she'd be like, "I'm sorry." Like,
but those friends are not friends for a reason, though.
Yeah, and so like
stuff happens for a reason.
But it's I say too, like a lot of people, because I moved here from East Coast. We know pretty quick if we're going to be friends. My best friend that I met here, who I thought was my best friend from California, she and I hit it off. Everything was great. And then when I
married,
when I said I was getting divorced, she's like, I don't believe that. Her husband was, unfaithful a couple times. That's why they moved here. He had a secret life. And I'm an asshole for getting divorced because I'm not happy. And because
secret lovers.
Yeah. And they're still together. So it's like, whatever makes you not happy is definitely not going to make me not happy. I'm going to be happy regardless of what you think of me. And if you're going to judge me on my marital status, we don't need to be friends. Some of the friends who were more of acquaintances have become more of a friend because they're like, look, I don't know what you're going through. I'm the kind of person I will cry myself wrecked, right? What was the word I'm looking for?
Ratchet.
Sure, ratchet. That sounds great.
Yeah.
And then I know, okay, well, no one's going to make me feel better. Nothing. I mean, Lance has really helped me through this whole thing, just letting me, I always say, let me be me. I didn't know who I was really until before him, where I'm like, you know what? The guy I dated before him, it was like that 3-month thing that we talked about. Definitely wasn't my person. And as soon as I met him, something was different. I was like, I'm so happy in myself that I see his happy. I see all the things, whether he was there or not, we definitely connected on a happy, like we just had fun. Like,
so the guy before him, you kind of settled?
Well, no, I dated the exact opposite of my ex.
But you kind of settled though.
I did. Well,
because that happy meter wasn't there.
Well, yeah. And
but you didn't know that happy meter was there or not.
And you know what?
You saw it.
I had dated, I had gone on dates. Like, dinner to me and a conversation, it could be happening at the bar next to a guy. And like, that's not a date, but because it's planned at a certain time, at a certain event. Okay. Yeah. So I've had a lot of conversations with people in public places where I felt safe. I've had a couple dates where it was like 1 or 2 dates. We go here, we go to an event, we go to like a brewery, we do this. That to me is a date. Anything else, like, you're cute, I'm cute. Let's meet at this place at 6:00. We're going to have dinner. And if anything, we can go, to the next bar, or we go to the movies, or we'll go on a hike, whatever. Conversation can happen at any point. And you could like be talking to the lady at the, I don't know, at a Target. You're in line at Target. And you're like, hey, well, I'm buying the same thing. That's funny. Blah, blah. That's a conversation. I've had a lot of conversations with people to learn what I didn't like, especially right after, because I didn't know what I liked.
You didn't know what you liked.
I've changed. My ex-husband changed. We are in different spots in our career. He's an executive. I'm, doing this. Basically, a lot of our marriage, I settled in my career so his career could be great because his growth potential was much better. Where mine, I'm a nurse, but there was a lot of times where, the hours weren't convenient because he was in Israel or he was in Africa or he was here, he was there. So I settled in my career where, like, at this point, I could be a director of nursing, blah, blah, blah. I love my job. I'm a school nurse and I love my job, but I also miss what could have been. And I always had to step out of that because I'm like, you know what? Wherever I'm supposed to be is where I'm supposed to be. And a lot of that was going, what's my purpose? I'm just this one's mom. I'm this one's wife. I'm this one's friend. This one knows me how this. Oh, I worked with her. I did, she's on the PTO. Like, who am I? And that's what happened right when my divorce. Like, I didn't know who I was. And a lot of what I was going to say too, a lot of what I did is I did a lot of, I guess I wouldn't call it meditation, but I did like yoga and I journaled. And like, I have always been I love to communicate, as you can tell. Wrote down, even if it didn't make sense. Like, I would wake up, be like, okay, I dreamt about this. I don't know what it means. And then I would do a lot of like research about, what does this mean if you do this, or, seeing signs and symbols, or, whatever, just to keep my mind focused. And I read a lot of stuff about like religions because my girlfriend, who is, not my best friend anymore because I got divorced, she was, very religious. And it turned me off of religion. And I was just like, if she can judge me that hard.
And be religious.
And she's the nicest person I know.
Not anymore.
Well, I'm just saying at that point, she's the nice, like, her parents were letting me live in her house as we were fighting. Like, because she was mad at me because I didn't call her all the time when I was sobbing in the shower. Like, I'm sorry I didn't call you back and blah, blah, blah. And like, you don't let me help you. I'm like, I am not someone that lets you help me. I need to help myself in order to be who I am. And when I come out, when I rise above, if you're there and we're still there, then we're good. Like, one of my best friends now, she's like, I've been through a divorce. I don't know what part of it you're dealing with today, but if you need me, call me. I would call him like, I haven't eaten in like 4 days, but I'm not hungry because my stomach hurts. And she's like, all right, you need to take this. She would bring me care packages. Like, she would, at work, she would give me a shake because we worked together. And she'd give me a shake. She goes, I'm sure you haven't eaten, so here, take that. So she basically was my lifeline, and it wasn't flashy. It wasn't, I need everybody to know that I'm helping Rachel because she can't help herself. It was let Rachel figure it out because I didn't even know I was like that. I shut down, rise up, and then move along. I'll have moments where I, fall back or whatever, but I'm a survivor truly to the point where, like, I don't always know what I need to help me out.
You talk a lot about happiness.
Yeah.
With me, it was drama. Lack of drama was my happiness.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Well, mine was, I guess, chaos would be my drama.
Yeah. Chaos and drama.
Especially all those different forces coming at me and trying to literally appease every single entity so that I can just have calm.
Yep.
And I didn't realize how noisy everything else was because I was good at dealing with chaos my entire life. From a child, adult, whatever. I was used to the chaos and silencing it myself, but I didn't know how to manage the chaos to better myself.
Yep.
It was always a survival thing. And now I'm just like, I literally don't give a fuck. I literally don't.
There you go, folks. That's the synopsis of the whole podcast.
No, you literally have to learn what fucks you give.
Yeah. Because you can't give all the fucks.
No, I mean, and sometimes you need to give a fuck because, your child needs you or, something like, okay.
They need dinner. So you got to give a fuck.
Yeah, you need, yeah. I'm like, I want chicken and not beef today. Like, I want, I'm probably going to have a liquid courage diet today because I want to have a drink. But I had right in the mix of it. I don't know how, what, who, if something the universe told me, you can't be whole if you have holes. And all those holes that I had to fill with stuff to figure out who I was, there's a lot, like, I love theater. I got an opportunity to be a theater director and fucking COVID hit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, there's something positive. Oh, that was ripped away from me.
Well, all those holes are like rungs of a ladder.
Yeah.
So you just fill those holes and then you get to the precipice where you come out the other side, I call it.
Well, like, you said you speed dated?
I did not say speed dated.
You had like a revolving door in the front office.
Damn.
Just exit that way. She's coming in this way. Like
dated.
Airplane traffic control. I can
that's
visualize.
how rumors start. Oh, yeah. I speed dated.
Yeah.
Every day was like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you when you say you dated a lot, what does that mean?
Let's just say I didn't want to be alone.
Yeah, no,
and
I get it. Yeah.
When you don't want to be alone, sometimes you make bad decisions. You have to live by those decisions, and you move on to the next one. So yeah, it was
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. If you're a good cook,
but did you find alone time, especially before this relationship you're in now?
Yes, and what I did with that alone time, I told you, I started podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my journaling was my podcasting without other people hearing it, and so. I will talk a problem dead.
No way.
But
no way.
Shut the fuck up.
No way.
But
help me, Lord, help me.
Now
Jesus, help me.
Listen, you.
My eye.
Good thing you had glasses on. Spray preventative, elastic band preventative.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, kryptonite was that?
Kryptonite.
No, but yeah.
Hey, drama's my kryptonite. There you go. Drama.
Yeah.
Drama's my kryptonite.
But do you have different drama now that you're divorced? Do you have like?
I have no drama.
Yeah, I feel like I have intermittent drama, and a lot of it has to deal with the kids.
Biggest drama I have is what color underwear to wear in the morning.
My mother-in-law knew that before I did. That's how.
Wait, hold on, squirrel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she had me bugged. But anyway, yeah, what else did you do, like, after, besides dating, that helped David?
I rode the hell on my bicycle.
Yeah.
I want to ride my bicycle. I rode my bicycle all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Matter of fact, I wore out a couple of tires.
Damn.
Yep.
Did you go to, like, East Coast, West Coast?
No, I would ride up to the zoo, ride up up and down the Greenway Belt Trail. Yeah, I would kill it.
Yeah.
I call my bike my bitch. So I ride my bitch.
Damn.
I rode that bitch a lot.
Nice.
Closing words. What do you got for us?
Right out of a divorce, you need to not always go back. I mean, there are those, 1%.
There's always times. Yeah.
There's always times where you work it out.
0.0004%.
Yeah. Weigh each of your decisions, pros, cons, and then what I want.
Oh, yeah.
And then you really find yourself. Figure out how do we know what we like if we don't try a lot of things? Whether it's women.
Wow.
In your case.
Bicycle.
Or you ride your bicycle. Yeah. But I definitely would go to shows and I would hang out with friends, or I'd go just sit and do nothing with friends just so I wasn't alone. Or, so like I said, sometimes I would just sit in drive in my car crying. Sorry, not safe, I'm sure.
And don't always give a fuck.
And listening to shit on the radio, don't listen to country songs when you're sad and driving because someone's dog died, you're out of booze, whatever. But just a lot of my, TLC, SWV, all those fun songs from back when I was a kid, and Little Vanilla Ice Baby, just not thinking of anything helped me think about all the things that I liked. I love music. I love dancing. I love
self-care.
Yeah. And it really is just going to get your nails done, even if you don't like to get your nails done, your hair done, a massage, any of those things, just listening to live music, learning to be okay in your own skin so that when you do find someone or you're ready to move on, you're able to bring to the table all of you.
Exciting.
And yeah, you're still going to have some holes because there's a lot of, ebbs and flows in relationships and, especially when we're melding and all that. But you really have to take time. And yeah, there's a lot of times you're just crying it all out. Yeah. You got to find out what you like. I was married for a long fucking time. So
it takes a while to get all that out.
Yeah. And there's no timeline. It's we always say it's like a death, there's all the different signs of grieving, and then the not giving a fucks,
and it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. And however long you need to, and try not to hurt other people who are in the same situation. I feel like a lot of divorcees newly in
bring your friends down.
Yeah.
Off the dumb shit.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, if someone else is newly in a divorce and you're like a year and a half in, you probably don't want to be in that, because they're just going to start going through their shit. And how much of their shit do you want to bring in? And a lot of times it takes healing.
Drama.
It takes that 3-month relationship to get you out of it, and then you find your man. Yeah. So.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
To our stuff, and we'll have more stuff next week. And enjoy the video. Hold on.
He's gonna have more props. Don't you worry. Oh gosh, he's back.
Boom. All right, everybody. Good night.
Bye.